All right. Okay, hello everybody. This is Celia Faye Meisel, and welcome to Feature Friday. Oops, we're getting an echo. Okay. Welcome to Feature Friday, and this is an infinitely empowered interview series where we feature up and coming and established energy workers. So I connect with women who are channels, mediums, psychics, spiritual healers, energy healers, and more. And today I have a very, very special guest with you, Sally Claridge, and she is the creator and the founder of Channeling Love, and she's going to tell you all about that today. And our message that we're going to be going through is sharing the message of healing and awakening that pushes society's boundaries of belief. Because as energy workers, we are really tapping into a lot of unknown and aspects and elements of consciousness that have not been allowed or invited to really flow on the planet. And so Sally's going to share with us her journey of awakening her spirituality, awakening her spiritual gifts, and having a full-time spiritual business. So welcome, Sally.
Hello, Celia. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's lovely to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let me get you on speaker. Okay, here now you're on speaker view. Hi. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Okay. Well, I'm an incorporating channel and healer. I'm originally from Scotland, but I took a leap of faith last year to move down to Spain and brought my lovely partner and our rescue dog down here, and we're creating a brand new life here in Spain. And all inspired by the landscape and also by the energy that I work with that was really not feeling comfortable in Scotland. So it was a case of moving and restarting and regrounding. And yes, here we are in Spain. So as an incorporating channel, I work with the Star Being Collective, and what happens is this collective come into me and they use me as an anchor, they use me as a voice box, but they come in to connect directly who is in circle with me. So whether it's a one-to-one client or whether it's a live webinar or an in-person group or a retreat, the star beings come through me to connect directly with each heart that's present, and that is when the healing takes place. So it's pretty different to many different types of healing that are out there at this time, and it's nothing like Reiki.
Right.
Where, because in Reiki the practitioner tunes in and kind of guides and directs the energies and is part of the work. But when I'm channeling, I am completely handing over to the star beings and their vibration and allowing them to do the work. So I kind of take the back seat and hand over to their incredible wisdom and powerful sort of vibration, which is incredibly healing. So it's kind of difficult to describe. I'm still finding it, even though I've been public with this channeling for a couple of years now. I still sometimes get tongue-tied in trying to describe it because it is quite challenging for people to understand. But here I am, and yes. I'm here, and I'm just very honored and really humbled sometimes by the power that the star beings bring through for other people. It's pretty amazing.
It is, and I've been on some of your healings, your live webinars and recorded webinars, and it's a potent energy that is unlike any other healing I've ever experienced. And they have, it's got its own vibration. Like there's a familiarity. And even last night, my community doesn't know this, it's 7 a.m. here in the US. And I love getting up early in the morning, but I was like, I really couldn't sleep last night. I was excited. And I actually felt that energy like getting ready today. And so it's something that I know for me being super sensitive, that when I connect with you, or if I go into one of those meditations with you, I will feel that energy moving in before and then, during the experience. And it is very powerful, very loving. And I know for me, I remember being able to kind of like let the restraints off. Just like open up to your heart. And so how did the name Channeling Love come in?
It came through when they first spoke through me, and when they first fully came into my body, into my aura, and I incorporated them.
Okay.
And it was such an overwhelmingly beautiful, incredible, and it was a bit, you know, unsettling for the very first time as well. But it was so beautiful. And my friend that was with me, she said, "Oh, you were channeling." And I was like, "My goodness, I was channeling." And she said, what did it feel like? I said, "It was just love. It was just love." So that's why I say it's channeling love, because that's how it feels like on my end. And the interesting thing is that star beings, they've been coming through for quite a few years now, but I've only been public in the last really 2 to 3 years with it.
Okay.
And they are just not interested in saying where they're from, or giving descriptions or having any sort of label attached to them, because they are adamant that their message is purely the vibration of love.
Mm-hmm.
And it stops us from maybe going into Google and looking up a planet's name, or looking up some sort of information, and then perhaps talking yourself out of an experience that you've had because there's not the logical backup to it. And this is why it's so powerful, because you move into a connection with this incredible presence, but you haven't got the attachment or the labels or the full understanding of who they are. And yet when their vibration comes through to you, it's like you say, you know, it's there is a familiarity to it. It's incredibly powerful. It's incredibly loving, but it's also deeply truthful and honest. And that is also something that's not always seen in the spiritual and healing world.
Right.
And you know, I like to say that channeling love is the heart of real deal, no fluff healing, because when they speak, they're very direct and very strong and to the point. And they really see you and know you beyond being Celia.
Right.
They see beyond that. And that can be disconcerting, because there is an essence in part of the spiritual world and the healing world where everything is a bit superficial and airy-fairy and air kissing, and it can be a bit fakey in all honesty. And what this incredible vibration does is it just comes straight through to meet you in your heart and to help you release your blockages, your fears, your boundaries, and to help you open up and to raise your vibration into a place of love and out of fear. So channeling love is the name that I've given to them, because they won't let themselves be identified and labeled or pinpointed down, because that actually limits us in our ability to believe what is possible through them.
And it's really not totally necessary either. You know, if you're bringing that information, I know that with my work with Akashic Records, like it's very easy that we can do label. And over the last 7 or 8 months, I've really been experimenting with this whole vibrational alignment, that what if we just set the intention and we go into that frequency where all of the answers are kept and held. I believe that you will naturally become magnetic to those aspects that we're really trying to bring out, your soul purpose, and in my case, and you just sort of like your planetary origin. And if somebody really needs to know something like that about where that energy is from, if it's meant for them, the universe will attract it in.
Exactly.
You know, like they'll manifest it.
Exactly. And we have to be able to surrender as well and let go of our beliefs and our fears, our restrictions, our upbringing, our conditioning. We have to be ready to let go of that as well. And, you know, that's something that I've had to move through to be able to incorporate their energy and to hold it for others. But I see so many people in the circles that I hold that, you know, they come out of the channeling and they're sitting there going, my goodness, what on earth just happened? That was incredible. But you can't necessarily describe it or pinpoint it beforehand. And you just have to have your heart open and just go, okay. I'm safe, I'm held, and bring it on. I'm ready.
Yeah, and isn't that a powerful experience? I was leading a meditation with a friend the other day, and I guided her in and I guided her out, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, my lips are numb and my knees are tingling and my feet are this and that." And I thought, what a power I mean, that's true healing to me, Sally, is when I can sit here across the planet, and you can sit there in the room with your circle and lead them and not touch them, not do anything, and bring in that vibration where they get a transformational experience that they're like, what just happened? I will never be the same.
Exactly.
That is healing.
Yeah. There's a webinar I did towards the end of last year. And I was in Edinburgh at that time, and there was this lovely lady down in Australia, and just worked out that the time zones fitted, and in she came to the webinar. And during a webinar, I share at least 30 minutes of the pure healing vibration before they speak and share their messages. And after the channeling was over, I always invite and open up floor space for people to share and to ask questions. And this beautiful soul, she was dumbstruck. She was saying, for over 20 years, I've had issues with being able to breathe freely. And she said, I've tried the medical route, I've done emotional work on myself, I've tried therapies, and you name it. And by the end of the webinar, she said she took her first deep breath. And she has been breathing freely ever since. And that's just one of the instantaneous healings that has happened distantly. Other ones have happened, when people have been in person with me. But I still find I'm in awe, when I hear these stories coming back, because when I'm channeling, I'm in a deep trance state. And although I don't have an awareness, I do have complete awareness in the moment, but afterwards I don't have a memory of really what's happened. So I come out of this trance and I'm clueless as to how everybody else has experienced it until they, share, if they want to share. And it's incredible, and the thing to remember is it's not me. This isn't traditional healing. It's not me doing the healing. It's not a method that I've been taught. It is a higher presence coming through.
It is.
To connect with the people that are ready to heal or awaken or to understand or to shift or to move into a new chapter of their lives. So it is when we let go of our beliefs around what is possible, anything is possible. I really, truly believe that. And I've seen it.
Yes, I'm glad you brought up the miracle instantaneous healings, because I was thinking about that. I had seen some testimonials before, and really women who had been struggling, and men, right, that had been struggling for a long time. And I know there was a program that you were offering last year with, like, you had partnered up with somebody and had guided a woman through, she was on many medications and just very ill.
Yes, yeah. This was, I think you're talking about Linda Pollock, and it was 3 years ago, and she basically had burnout, and it was pretty bad. She crashed really badly, and she had 17 neurological symptoms, and it looked like she'd had a stroke. And she was only in her 30s, her late 30s. She could hardly walk, she couldn't feed herself, she couldn't properly talk. And because I was a friend, I said, right, well, I'll come over. She said, will you come and help me? I don't understand what you do, but will you come and help me? And my friend was with me at the time, who does bioenergy, and the two of us worked on her together, one after the other. And within the hour, she was walking and talking again. Wow. And, these things, miracles are a reality. They do happen when that person is ready to shift, to maybe take on the lesson, the self-responsibility, and to free themselves up and to let go as well, and to surrender. Then these miracles can happen. Yeah, they really can. And before Christmas, I don't know if you've heard of the channel Larkma. The Larkma is brought through by Pia and Cullen, a really amazing couple from the USA. They were here in where I live, in Orchiva in Spain. And I did channeling for them. And Pia's wrist was very badly damaged, big, swollen, black and blue, and she literally had a fall there and then. And just by the end of the day after the channeling, it had completely healed. You know, and these things happen. We can't explain it. We can't strategize it. We can't put it into a box. But these healings happen. They happen.
They do.
They do. And we have to be, I really believe that we have to be brave enough to talk about them and not be shy or afraid of other people's responses, or of people going, I don't believe it, it's not possible. Because you're the same people that hold the light, that are healers, that are awakening other souls. We have to stand strong and hold the vibration for others.
We do.
To come up, to join. And it's not that it's a hierarchy, but we have to hold the space for everyone to have their opportunity to receive the healing, to receive whatever it is that they need to shift out of their stuckness or unhappiness or disease or bad relationship. We have to hold it, the space for it. Yeah.
And as far as, you know, as in the awakening too, it happens in waves. So, you know, you know, where you are in that, you can be very young and then have awakened at a very young age, or, you know, it all happens in waves. So it's like, as we are like more mature in our gifts and we've kind of had more of those experiences, we have that, I feel that responsibility to help pave the way for those who are coming. If they have life lessons and karmic situations they have to learn, well, we can help them get out of them much more quickly if they say yes to that. And I also I've been kind of mapping out this energetic journey of energetic and spiritual alignment and sort of the step by step. And I'm getting to that highest point, and I'm talking to Source, I'm asking the angels and everything, like, what is it? What is this final piece here? And what I got, the message that was really coming through actually starting yesterday, was be a magnet to your purpose and a repellent to distraction. There's so much that's here to keep us distracted, right? Yes. I mean, squirrel, bunny, I'm so busy. And like, you know, I mean, it all happens, but it's like finding that joy in the daily, you know, when we're getting into those higher vibrations of, you know, because it is easy. I found it for me, it's easy to actually kind of hit into boredom, whereas like one step, that vibration where it's just a little bit, just one notch on the negative spectrum, and it's enough to just throw me off totally. And so, yeah,
I totally understand, because, you know, modern day life and society, especially in the Western world, is so geared towards not being spiritual, to not opening up your mind, and to living your life from your head and not from your heart. And, you know, if we engage so much and we really dive into like watching the Kardashians every week, for example, is it?
Yeah.
Or, you know, or watching the news continually, or being addicted to CNN or BBC News, it's very difficult to pull yourself out of that state of belief and reality into the realms that await us. We're multi-dimensional beings. So there are so many realities that we can tune into and benefit from and thrive within. We don't just have to live this human existence, as it were, where we go to work, go shopping, feed the kids, go out to the pub on a Friday night. You know, there's so much more to us than that. We have to be willing to dive in there.
Yeah, we do.
Nobody else can do it for us.
We do. And the same with all the news channels is too much time on social media. I mean, I've witnessed women ruin their businesses because they were on social media all day, and, you know, nothing's ever good enough. Nobody's commenting on my stuff. That too. And I know that with the change of the algorithm on Facebook, you know, everybody's like, oh my gosh, the algorithm, blah, blah, blah. And all up in arms. But I feel that is a mirror to where we need to be going spiritually. You know, that it's there, you know, they're calling it Facebook zero and all of these things. Now, I know without Facebook and without social media, I would not be the woman that I am today, because we live in small communities, a lot of us. If I didn't have my network of women around the world who are really being what I like to call an ambitious energy worker, if I didn't have those other women that were ambitious to look to and to learn from and to study from, we would probably all just have our little one room healing studios in our home or in an office and just kind of carrying out the massage therapy biz model as healers. And really that's not energetically sustainable for us. Like, we need groups, we need to be like meeting a lot of people. And so that's kind of getting into a whole other conversation, but but just it's like it mirrors, like, okay, when the external world isn't delivering what we think it should be, it's time to go inside. It's time to go within.
It really is. And you're so right. The whole social media thing, it is a comparison game. And you can talk yourself out of your own gifts. You can talk yourself out of your own power. Yes. Oh my God, we've all done it. Gee, we've all done it. So we just have to be aware of what works for us energetically and what doesn't. And each of us is different. Each of us is so unique and different. And we find our own balance, but we must have that open heart and be willing to make the shifts and changes to be able to ascend and raise our vibration and heal. And there's so many different layers to healing and so many different types of healing. It's not just about physical symptoms in the body, being alleviated. Healing is awakening. Healing is meeting yourself or experiencing love, universal love for the first time. Healing is not just a tunnel with a result at the end of it. It's a whole journey and experience.
Yes, it is. And I have a couple questions that are coming up. And one of them is about how you got started. But I really feel like, for some reason, because I'm just so fascinated with business, asking you a business question, because, a lot of the channels that I like to subscribe to and follow, they all run their businesses differently. Like, some are very, like, you will never see them on Facebook Live, but they have a lot of free resources on their websites, and they do a lot of live in-person events. And I feel that for your particular gift, because people do get so much healing, and of course we're in this, give value and show up, and like, how have you found your balance of how much to give, and then to know when, okay, this, that just the selling, sales, but how have you found that balance and really found your model? Because you do have a unique model where when you're channeling, you're healing. That's not common for channels.
No, it's not. And I have found, in all honesty, I've always said, like, I'm an open book and the real deal. There's no fronts or facades that I'm putting up. And I have found it really hard to, because you automatically think, okay, they're doing that, really works for them, so I'll try that. And then you try it and it just doesn't feel right. So what I've had to do is, I have put a lot of time into social media. I have learned a lot about how to grow your page. I do live streams. I'm very creative, so I love making my own memes and posters out of actually written channelings that have come through. So all the posters that are up on my biz page are actually from written channelings when I've been in trance. And I share the live streams, and I sometimes do healings online as well. And I run the actual channeling webinars every now and again. So what I've found is, I'll go through phases of being really, really present on Facebook and really putting a lot of energy out there. And then I just have to pull back a bit.
Yeah.
I just have to pull back and just sort of hold my own space. And always I've found that when I pull my energy back and I'm not so in the masculine, as it were, that's when the magic happens. It's when you have that space around you and you're actually holding the energy, but you're not going out there going, hello, look at me, or this is what I've got to sell, or this offer or that offer. So I really now just try and follow my flow and try and not feel bad if I'm not doing what a business strategist would advise, because that just doesn't resonate with me. It just doesn't work. So I trust my own instinct, and I learn as I go, and so far it's working. You know, I'm a one-woman show.
Yep.
I don't have a team behind me. My lovely partner is amazing support. He really is fantastic. But at the moment, you know, channeling love is getting such a response that it's not going to be long before I have to take somebody on to help me do the day-to-day stuff.
Yes.
But I really feel that it really is about listening to your body, listening to your intuition, and doing what's right for you, and not playing the comparison game and trying to make yourself fit into models or strategies that just don't reflect who you are.
Right.
And, you know, my lovely partner has always said, you know, it's not easy being the first Christian, as it were.
Yeah.
Not that we're bringing religion into this, but, you know, when you're taking something different out there, you don't have somebody to follow. You don't have a plan or the steps. You know, you just have to take it out there and be in your integrity, be in your heart, and just radiate that energy and allow everything to come to you that's for you, and trust. Oh, huge amounts of trust.
Exactly. And
Yes.
I love what you said, you know, that there's not a strategy for it. You know, because that is very masculine. And how do we give, you know, bring in that space for this very feminine healing and this trust vibration? And I know for me, the business model I have today, I had to build it energetically, because what I found is I had invested in so many coaches, and it was all very masculine, email lists and the opt-ins and the webinars and it's like that stuff has its place, but it was the energetic side. And so I actually built my whole mastermind that I'm running now is built on energy, and we do all energy meditations, and they are action oriented, but it's really like coming into that place that if as an entrepreneur, as an energy worker, entrepreneur, like if you're not in a space to receive and to really hold that container, because like what you're saying, Sally, you're a one-woman show. The rest of the world does not know what a container that is to hold when you're channeling love and you've got the business, and it's an enormous energetic entity that has to be managed. And, you know, it requires such a delicate, fine understanding of how you operate and how you're being called to serve and show up. So I get that. You know, there's so many of us at the moment, women that are awakening, women that are really embodying their gifts and aren't afraid to take it out into the world. So in a sense, we're not alone at all. No.
And there are so many of us out there. And I don't believe in competition at all. There's no competition between any soul worker and another soul worker, light worker, healer, coach, whatever you want to call or label, you know, there's no competition. So I really believe that everybody working with the intent and the integrity to support everybody else, even if you don't understand what they do or it's not your cup of tea, the collective power of so many women stepping up is also what's holding us. It really is. And, you know, you've been an incredible presence in my life since, you know, our paths came together. And, you know, there's other women out there that equally, you know, share so much, but we all bring our own unique aspect and gift to share. We can't be labeled and put in a box, but we do have to work together and let go of the masculine competitions, goals and success from the old paradigm, because that just doesn't work anymore.
Even our relationship to money, just healing that and finding that spiritual feeling of money. That was my last, like in the last 6 to 8 weeks, that really final piece that I needed, because again, it's easy with that to get, I want to make this much a month and this much a month and this, and it's so empty.
Yes.
You know.
So funny you said that, because I joined a manifesting challenge last week.
Okay.
And, you know, I was going to get them emails through every day, and I was going to do it and this and that, and I was all for it. by day 2, I was exhausted, and I thought, this isn't working. It doesn't feel right. It's not in alignment with maybe how I operate. So I just thought, oh no, just no. Mm-hmm. It's not working. So anybody that's watching this, you listen to your own inner voice first and foremost, and listen to what your heart is saying. What works for other people doesn't necessarily work for you. And if you're having to push their beliefs or having to speak up some difficult truths, then that's what you have to do. But we do it from a place of love and self-belief, but also respect and honor for everybody else's path.
Exactly. And we need to, something I was talking with my clients with on this week in our coaching group was the power of having your own belief system. Because I found that that's really what misaligned me. Was I actually had a mentor who was like, Celia, I think that you are just too conservative with yourself. You just need to be spending more money on yourself. And you probably have been there too, Sally. And it's like, okay, I'll get the team. Okay, I'll hire the designer. I'll hire this and I'll hire, and then you're like all chaotic. And, and I feel like that was that opportunity that, no, Celia needs her own value system. And so we have to look at all of those areas of our life and find out what we stand for spiritually, energetically, and then also like what the money and the income means planetarily. Like, how are we here to make a contribution with the money that we receive? Because that is huge. Like when a spiritual healer, she puts that money back into her community, she chooses wisely about how she spends and where she spends and who she invests with. And, that there's that whole creation element as also with the money.
Yeah, exactly. Money has been abused,
Yes.
Money is a clear energy. It's what we put into it that makes it a challenge, or bad, or dirty, or never having enough, or too rich, or spoiled. We put that energy into money, but money is neutral. Money is a neutral energy until we put our intents into it. So we create, as you know so well, we create the reality around it for ourselves. And it is a lesson that we all learn. I was brought up in an environment that was basically, materially wealthy, but to believe in lack and to live from a point of lack. So there's a massive disconnect there. So for me, that's a healing and a lesson that I'm continually, taking myself through and being shown, no, maybe you haven't healed that so much.
Right.
Really interesting. It's very
the scarcity, that lack and scarcity mentality, it's programmed in every area. So it's like when we look at it and showing up in that one area, we have to look at all of the other places as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Allow it.
Something quite funny that really highlights this is in 2 weeks' time, I'm running a retreat here in Spain, and I had just one amazing woman who's booked on it.
Okay.
And I was thinking, oh my goodness, I haven't got anybody else. She's going to be on her own. I'm going to run the retreat. She's going to be all on her own, and it's not going to be that fun for her. And I went into complete spiral and lack and panic. Yes. And then it was just a case of, oh my God. But in the last 2 days, there's a lady flying over from the UK now who's coming into the full retreat. 2 beautiful women from this local area are coming in. So you have to be so aware of where your energy is and where your belief is for the universe to come in and shift and bring you the gifts that are there waiting.
Right.
And this is what the star beings do as well. I've seen women move through shifts emotionally, physically, and turn their life around because they've aligned with a higher vibration that brings them out of where they're stuck and where they've got those blocks.
Yes.
So even though I'm the channel and I'm, holding space for others, I'm still learning as well.
Sure.
We're all still on this path together, and it's a journey of self-discovery as much as being a healer for other people.
Right. And and that whole, like, that never enough energy is a part of that, disempowered
Yeah.
Patriarchal archetype type thing where
Yeah.
like nothing's ever enough. You got to go more. And I really found in the last several months, like every person matters. Even if there is one person, you better love that person. I'm always, my husband's a musician, and we're always talking about that. Like if there's 3 people at a show tonight, like you play your heart out for those 3 people.
Absolutely.
Because you can feel it when you're in that place of it's not enough. Like we carry that vibration with us. So I just love that you brought that, brought that experience up, because a lot of people do book at the last minute, and they wait till the last second.
This is it, and the universe has a laugh,
Yes.
The universe has always got our backs. It's our heads that really screw us up. Our hearts will never screw us around, but our heads, my goodness, the games that they play. Yeah.
They do. So why don't we've got some comments coming in. So why don't you tell us, I'm going to read our comments, and just while you talk, I want you to tell us about your Channeling Love Spanish retreats.
Yes. Well, I'm so excited about this. It's always been my dream to run retreats. And now that we're here in the Spanish mountains in such a beautiful area where the vibration of the star beings is so much more magnified and really powerful, I've run these long weekends where people can come and sit in person with me, and I keep it small groups between 3 and 5 at the moment. Okay. Where it's you've got your own ensuite accommodation, it's all organic food, you're up this beautiful mountain and an eco finca in gorgeous surroundings, and you immerse in the energy of the star beings every day to receive the healing vibration, but also to receive their verbal guidance. And it's a really unique opportunity to actually have a conversation with them. So really the retreats is the only time, apart from one-to-ones, where you actually can have a conversation with them. And also on the retreats, I work with the Illumination Oracle cards. We just do lots of wonderful time together to open up your heart. But you've also got that really important time to be alone, to have space to process, to breathe, to relax, and just to feel who you are. Because what I've found is the amazing souls that have come on the retreat so far is they arrive and they're like, they're full of the modern world and the stress of the journey, and they're all in their heads, and they just need space to be able to come down first of all. And then the star beings come through with this healing, and by the end of the weekend, they're going back into their lives in a higher, calmer, peaceful, more positive vibration, and in a way that's transforming their lives. So there was one lady that came in November, and she was very unhappy in her job and totally stressed out. And she got some guidance during one of the channelings, and I heard from her a couple of weeks ago that she's just now applied for the job of her dreams, and she got it, whereas before she never would even have applied for it. So you can move through some very profound shifts that may appear just subtle on the surface, but the work is done on a vibrational level that will maybe appear further down the line. So these retreats are really special, and it's a really lovely chance for me to get to meet the people as well that want to sit and have personal time with me and the star beings. Because so often, as you know, we're on the end of a webinar or on the end of Messenger, and it's that personal contact is really special to me. Mm-hmm. So I run long weekend retreats, and I now open them up for people who perhaps can't come to the scheduled dates. I will organize and set up a retreat for you and your group. So we're really opening up the gates for people to come to Spain and to sit with the star beings. And we're also already looking at larger venues, and there's wonderful things really beginning to happen.
I'm getting chills. I can't wait to see what happens. This is an awesome time. And I love how it's like you're in that space now where people can come to you. You don't have to travel, so you really can nurture yourself and be grounded in your home.
Exactly. And the venue is just so wonderful. It's such a beautiful place, stunning views over the mountains. Olive trees, almond trees. We've got the almond blossom out here at the moment, and it's just very nurturing. and very connected with the land. There's something very magical about the land and the mountains here. And I think that's why the star beings guided me to come here.
Okay.
Because the energy here is very, very special, very strong. And yeah, I
there
love
could
it.
be some lost cities. I know, like in Mount Shasta, it's the ancient city of Telos is located under the mountain. So there's no telling what kind of ancient energies.
Yes, there's a mountain at the end of our road down that way that actually looks like a pyramid. It has got that pyramid top to it. It is incredible. So I haven't been walking down there yet. So I've got that journey and that discovery to connect with. But there's this area of Spain, the land here, the mountains here is incredible. And I just love welcoming people into the sacred space and helping them move through their shifts. I feel it's a gift. Somebody's given me a gift, to be able to do this. It really is.
Yes, and you went through a lot energetically, personally, spiritually, a lot of initiations.
Yes.
To get where you are now and to that peace. So sometimes everybody, there's the storm comes before you hit the calm. So
that's it. And that's all part of the path. That's all part of the path. I always laugh, they say the spiritual path is all lovey-dovey and ease and grace and flow. Oh my God, no, it can be rough, it can be tough, because you have to face yourself and face a lot of emotions and things that have happened, and you start becoming more aware and sensitive to energy, and that opens up another whole realm. So it's a wonderful, wonderful path. But it's not always as it's portrayed as the airy-fairy flowing.
Totally. So for people that may not be ready to come on an international trip or go to Spain, how else can they get to know you and the Star Beings? You have a monthly membership that you offer?
I do, yes. It's a paid monthly membership where it's a private Facebook group. And I share a channeling every week through live stream, through webinar. There's also 2 written channelings every week. I do personal readings, group readings as well. And you have access to all past content and webinars and the whole shebang. But what I love about it is that the people that are in the group are really heart-centered, and they're all moving through different stages of their journey. And every week that the Star Beings come and connect with them, they experience a shift, they feel something, they move forward, or they receive a message that really helps them. And I've got people in Hong Kong, South America, Ireland, Scotland, England, Germany as well. So it's an international community, and it doesn't matter if you can't join the channeling live, because there's the live stream, there's the recording, and energetically that healing and that connection is there for you. So I feel very honored to be able to offer it to people, and I hold space, and you have my online support there as well for moving through the shifts or whatever comes up. So I really, really love my membership group and all my members. So that's Channeling Love Membership, which you can find out more about on my website. And yes, I also have a free group called The Heart of Healing. Where I also share posts and live streams and offers around my work. So I've got the paid membership group that is really full of the channeling love connection with the Star Beings, and the free group which introduces you to it, and I share a lot in there as well. And there's also some special offers that take you into the channelings as well.
Great. And then you also have are you still offering your Stellar Survival Kit?
Oh, yes. That's a monthly subscription, and it's purposely really low rate. It's £10. So I think that's like $12 or something. And that is it's a channeling every month that comes to you via email, and it comes as a healing meditation, MP3 download. I also write the words out so that you can refer to the PDF to actually connect more with the words as well as the energy of the healing. I do a month ahead reading in there. There's my inspirational blog with some insights and real deal grounded humor. And also every month there's a surprise gift. So every month there's a little extra that perhaps they're not expecting. And this month, actually, I'll just blurb it out. The Stellar kit that's just gone out, the free gift was a free channeling, access to a free channeling later this month. So there's a lot of content in there. And I just think it's important to be able to make this healing accessible to everybody. Mm-hmm. Not everybody has the money, not everybody has the time to go on one-to-ones or go on retreats or join webinars. And this gives everybody the chance to enjoy it in their own time without freaking them out about costs as well, because the star beings are about love. It's not it's not a business money-making thing at all. It's about getting the love and the healing out there.
Yes. Yes. Lovely. And so we've got some questions and some comments, and France asked, where can I experience some of Sally's channeled messages? And so France, you can head to Sally's website, which is in the live stream title here, channelinglove.com. And she has a channeling and a meditation that she's turned into a meditation that you can download. And then you can also join her Facebook group, The Heart of Healing. Is that what you said?
Yeah. The Heart of Healing.
The Heart of Healing.
The Heart of Healing. On my homepage, there's the Stellar Channeled Healing, and that is a free download, and you'll experience the energy of the star beings through a channeling, a spoken channeling. So I share their words in my voice, not in their voice, and that is a really lovely introduction to their vibration and to their guidance and their wisdom.
Lovely. We've got some lovely women on here today. Linda's here. France is here. I think Edel is here or was here. So a great women collective of heart-centered women coming in. And, you know, I like this morning time too. I like to see my early morning women too. I know it's afternoon for you.
It is.
Yeah, Linda said that she loved the question. I think this was about you just finding your place in your business model, and that it's lovely to hear that you found your own way to stand in your business.
Oh, thank you.
You know, because we are business women, and I've discovered that that's part of our life lessons that we're here to integrate is learning how to be the entrepreneur, because, you know, being an employee somewhere doesn't allow you the freedom to be that vehicle. So it is important to learn how to have that energetic exchange. And that's again, that spiritual aspect of money is that it's a currency. And my intention always is that what you invest to work with me and to have that experience with me, that you get it back 100-fold. Like, I hope that whatever I'm charging is peanuts compared to what you're going to get in the long, in the long term of your evolution. And I also feel that I had to learn of like doing one-off readings versus like a long-term experience, that my clients, like you said, you know, they need that time to integrate. And I'm seeing my clients that things we were working on in the spring are now manifesting. Last spring are now manifesting the financial, the business, the freedom, everything, because that's just how long it took for them to be able to integrate all of the work that we were doing. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, everybody responds differently to a vibration and to a healing. Some people can just shift like that, and other people just need to go away and to sit and let it process and simmer maybe a little bit, or go through their resistance. And it's everybody's different. So we can't expect the same results at all.
That's so true. Well, thank you so much, Sally. It's just been so much fun to connect today. And I think we're going to have to do this again. I'm like channeling in ideas. Like, maybe I could bring you on and we could do, we can talk over Messenger, but maybe if we could come and do a special infinitely empowered webinar experience, something like that, something special.
I would love to channel for your group. I would love that.
That would be fun. And perhaps down the road, as my mastermind grows, we could collaborate on a retreat type thing, and I could include that in, because the travel is a big part of it. And I think, like what you were saying earlier, of that vibration of, it's not a hierarchy, but we are holding that vibration. And it's us coming together in sisterhood. Absolutely. Also, and support, and friendship, and all those things. That not everything is a business transaction, but our soul family naturally supports each other's businesses. It's just how it is.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. It's about everybody coming together. And we find our soul tribe. We find when our heart's open and when we're in alignment, our soul tribe comes in, and you know it straight away. You know it straight away, that there's a resonance, and you think, yeah, this feels good.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I remember I felt that the first time I saw you online, and it was in a group. I was like, oh my God, she's fab.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, it's really, honestly, Celia, thank you so much. I know I waffle sometimes.
No, this was perfect. No, it was so perfect. I loved it, and I loved everything. And we had such a lovely group of women on, tuning into that vibration. And, it's just that conversation. We need that space to be heard and recognized, and all of that. So it's been just such a delight. We'll definitely have you back on Future Friday, perhaps when we get into our season 2. We'll get to check in and see how your work has evolved in the last year.
Yeah, wonderful.
And I encourage any of you live or on the replay to go find Sally. And really, I encourage you to go follow her on Instagram, because she posts a lot of beautiful pictures of the nature in Spain on her Instagram, and of her adorable dog, Sir Max-a-Lot.
That's him. Yes, he's famous now.
He's famous. And find her group, go to her website, and her webinars. Sometimes she does one-off webinars where you don't have to subscribe. There's some of those as well. So just keep an eye out if you're waiting to, find the right time or whatever. She will. She's always putting nice emails and messages out there. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Sally, for your time and your energy and your presence. It's been lovely. And to your infinite empowerment, everybody, this is Celia Faye Meisel and Sally Claridge. We will see you soon.
Bye. Bye.